Well, hi kids. What we have here is a 2000 Toyota Celica. And to make a short story long, I screwed up. I was changing out the valve seals because 200,000 miles and up to 2003 they were known to have used bad material for the seals. And yeah, when I was pulling them out, the exhaust side especially just crumbled. They weren't sealing at all. I did number one, replaced the seals, cleaned everything up, put it all back together. Number two, number three, I was working on number four. I was just starting to put it back together. When I got to the seals, I opened my little bag of seals, and I'll be danged if I didn't have too many seals. I realized at that moment, much to my dismay, that I had not put the seals in cylinder number three. So I figured I'll finish number four, we'll go back to number three. Now there's a certain number of steps that you want to do, certain order, when you're changing out valve seals, when you're busting loose the springs from the retainers and locks so you can get down to the seal. You don't want that valve to go down in the cylinder. Some people use air pressure, push the valves up, but this was going to take a while, and I don't have a real good compressor, and I was doing another thing. And what you do is you take a rope and you run it down the spark plug hole, and I packed like 10 feet in there, run it all the way to the bottom of the stroke, pack it full, get on the crankshaft here with a wrench and run that piston up to the top of its, or as far as it'll go, and kind of pack it a little bit, back off, hit it pretty hard, and boy, those valves are there. They won't drop down. And I have a little tool here that I made. I suppose I can bring it over to you. It fits around, oh, we need some light on it. It fits around the outside of the retainer. There's a little pocket, and inside a deeper pocket is a magnet. And really, all you gotta do is just fit it over the spring, the retainer, and give it a shove, and it unlocks the collets. They pop up into the magnet, the retainer goes with them, and the spring is sitting there free. You pull the spring out, and I organize them in an egg carton so that I can put them back in the same holes. 200,000 miles, and all the pieces parts are worn in. I want to make sure they go back in the same holes. Well, I had number four packed. I got interrupted. Went in the house. Oh, what the heck, we'll check my blood sugar, we'll have a meal. I came back out all the time remembering we've got to run that number three to the bottom. Step two, put the rope in. Step three, pack it tight. Step four, pop the valves loose, and then I can put in my new seals. So I come back out here. Heck, I had texted a friend the order that I was going to do things in. And I come back, I'm walking across the parking lot thinking, okay, this is what I'm going to do. So I came out, cranked the piston to the bottom of its stroke, grabbed my tool, poked the first one down, put the springs over in the egg carton. Same thing with the second valve. Same thing with the third, except I saw that third valve. I'm standing here with spring in one hand and pieces parts in the other, and I watched that valve go down the cylinder. Damn, I forgot to put the rope in and pack it. So there's valves, two valves down the cylinder. and I really don't want to pull the cylinder head off. That's where we are. I went and purchased a bore scope. This is kind of a nice one. $37. You got 16 feet of cable. You've got a picture taker or a video starter. You can zoom in, zoom out. And it's got a variable intensity light that you can dial up and dial down. Real bright there, and it gets dim. So that's useful. The closer you get to something, the more you turn the light down so you don't blind yourself in the camera. And I'm going to shove this sucker down a valve guide. Doesn't quite fit. I've got to do a little work on it with some sandpaper. And I'm going to go down the hole, the spark plug hole, with a forcep, 12-inch forcep. And I'm going to watch this. This is Wi-Fi, by the way, for $37. I'm going to tune into its channel and watch what's going on in the cylinder with my cell phone. I'll probably put in a little video of that. And I'm going to see if I can wrestle around in there and push that valve back up the guide. Well, those valves. There's a second one. I was near success with that the other night, just looking down the valve guide. I could see the end of the valve and I could steer it. And as long as you see the end of the valve, it's headed towards the guide. Now, with this camera in here, which by the way is something like 1900 by 1080 resolution, it's amazing. It's only 5.5 millimeters in diameter. Somehow, we're going to drive that valve right into the lens of the camera. We'll back the camera up the bore a little bit, and we're going to see if we can be successful here. It'll save me about $400 worth of gaskets and new head bolts and seals, all manner of stuff, plus the frustration of having to take the thing apart and put it back together. And as I said before, 200,000 miles, I don't want to disturb it. I just want to let it do its thing. I did take a look down the bore, down the spark plug hole. There's still cross-hatching on the cylinder walls, believe it or not, after 200,000 miles and 23 years. So we're going to see if we can do that. That's all I'm going to say about that right now. Later.